Evening. Thought I'd go live and react to everything we've just seen there. I don't know. I feel like Liverpool they weren't that good today, but obviously got the win. Salah in my team, goal and an assist. We'll take it. Hope everyone's doing all right. It's been a pretty rough game week for most players, hasn't it? Yeah. What do you do? Sorry. What can you do, eh? What can you do? Just have a look at my team a sec. Here we are. 33 points. I don't think that's live and updated yet. I'm waiting for live.fpl to... Oh, screen's just frozen. Bear with. There we are. Need 3 more points for a green arrow, apparently. There we go. 41 points. Bloody hell. Nice job, mate. Yeah, here's how we're looking. Still got Eze and Wood to go, which is, I think it's a bad place to be fair. Unfortunate on the captaincy, but not too worried, you know. Everyone had Haaland pretty much. 167% EO today, or this week. You know, not too big of a hit on the captaincy, but the big question is, can you get away with selling Haaland? I would probably wait, obviously, until the Southampton game is out of the way, because that seems like a plum fixture. But in fact, I saw a great Salah did bits for me. I'll just pull something off of Twitter that I noticed that's quite useful. So I'm just going to pull it up. It was in my DM, so I'm not going to post those on YouTube. But 2 seconds, and I'll just flash it up. I saw something really interesting. It was a tweet from a couple of days ago, just around captaincy in future game weeks from the Blues FPL. Here we go. So I don't know. I'm just flirting the idea, right? Here you are. Can you see that? Okay. Should be able to. So these are probably, with the exception of Saka, who you could captain as well. These are probably like the 4 captaincy options right now in FPL, right? And looking at future game weeks, I feel like you could get away with not having Haaland. I feel like you could get away with it. Obviously, game week 9, he's got Southampton. That's probably the final time that you would definitely captain him. And then looking at future game weeks, you know, game week 10, there's an argument you could captain Salah, get away with it. Game week 11, there's an argument you could captain Son or Salah. Game week 12, there's an argument to captain Salah or Palmer. Game week 13, there's definitely an argument to captain someone else. 14, Haaland's got Forest, Palmer's got Southampton. Crystal Palace and Everton for Haaland and Salah in 15. 16, Man United, Fulham, Southampton and Brentford. Other players with different fixtures. Yeah, this is a really good tweet, this. I'm going to bookmark it and retweet because it's been quite useful. But yeah, just a thing on Haaland, you know. Is he actually the best captain for those future game weeks? I also was saying it on the stream this morning, and I'm probably a little bit biased to the fact that, you know, some of the good defenders have had tough fixtures this week, or, you know, the likes of Gabriel, etc. Were unlucky with the Saliba sending off, I guess. Obviously, it was Saliba's fault that he got sent off, but you could count yourself unlucky that it happened. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking, could you potentially go cheap at the back now and just sack off the likes of Gabriel and Trent and just go super cheap? Yeah, Haaland 0. Basically, I don't think he put up 0 XG. Crazy. Yeah, poor game week for a lot of people. I see animations there. You just got to roll with the punches in this game, mate. Some weeks are good, some weeks are bad. It happens, man. You just got to crack on. Just got to crack on. Bloody hell, 71 points. Yeah, thing is though, Arsenal, what have they got next? Liverpool, Newcastle, Chelsea. It's not the best run, but, you know. Brian's brought some Brentford defenders in. That's interesting because they haven't kept a clean sheet yet. They haven't kept a clean sheet yet. Good to see a Milenkovic owner in the chat. I'm big on Milenkovic. Oh, Paul James Farr, that is incredible. Fair play to you. I'm hoping I'll be on a similar position to you after Eze and Wood come in with each getting their own hat-tricks. That'd be good. I'll go live until 7:30, and then I'll make myself a bit of dinner, and then I'm going to make the ultimate guide video for Game Week 9. Yeah, sorry if you've had a poor game week. It's just the way it goes sometimes in this game. It can be a bit rubbish. Just going to pull Twitter over to this side. Do you think you're going to get Son? Honestly, I have, looking at my team here, right? I've got 5 free transfers for next week. And other than Greaves, I don't see an obvious move. I would have probably been concerned about Salah against Arsenal. But given that they're without Saliba, I'm less concerned. I think he'll do just fine. Eze against Tottenham. And Mbumo against Ipswich. Rodgers against Bournemouth. Solanke's got Palace. He hasn't played yet, animations. You know, I've kept the faith in Eze. I believe in him. So yeah, we'll see how he goes. He's got Forest, then he's got Spurs, then he's got Wolves, then he's got Fulham. You know. Yeah, that double Arsenal run there of Southampton and Leicester without a clean sheet is rough. Rough. Who did get the bonus? Who did get the bonus in that game? Yeah, Curtis Jones was mega though. He had a mega game. I was also really impressed with Jackson. I think Jackson is looking really good this season as well. I don't know what you guys think, but he's basically just... He's doing what he did last season, but he can actually finish now. Let's just have a look at his stats. I think he's looking really good. Yeah, 8 attacking returns from 8 starts. 0.85 XGI per 90. It's just a shame about the fixtures. But in reality, you know, Newcastle, not the best defensively. Neither are Man United. Arsenal definitely are. And then that run there for Chelsea. Wow. That is from Leicester onwards. That's such a good run. Like, I'm just thinking Cole Palmer's going to need to be in your team for that, isn't he, as well? That's such a good run. Good to see you in the chat, Dakshin, mate. We're just shooting the shit after a pretty terrible game week for most people. So feel free to rant in the chat. That's what we're here for. Still got one more game to go, of course. Forest and Crystal Palace. As an Eze and Wood owner, I'm hoping that game finishes 4-4, but I have a feeling that it's going to be pretty low scoring. Should you see how my score predictions held up today? Well, I have Man City winning 4-1 and Liverpool winning 2-0. Well, I got Wolves scoring a goal and Liverpool scoring 2 goals right. And I guess I got the results right. So I'll take that. Yeah, I really like that. Vardy to Jackson is a great move. I know he scored a penno, but I just don't rate Vardy long term as an option. Yeah, I've been absolutely done by Guardiola. He has absolutely had my pants down. I sold him for the Newcastle game, and he scored, and he's been the best defender in the game since I sold him. I can't believe it. Gabriel to Guardiola. So here's my thing on Guardiola, right? And Man City players in general. I'm just going to flash up. I'm just going to go to my solo screen a sec. Now, I might be thinking too much into it. I might well be, and happy to accept that. But here are the Man City fixtures coming up, right? Hopefully it loads. So they've just played Wolves. Obviously, Guardiola started that game. Foden came off the bench. Then they've got Prague in the Champions League. Then they've got Southampton on Saturday, Tottenham on Wednesday, play again on the Saturday, midweek, weekend. Their schedule over the next 3 or 4 weeks is crazy. And I just think there's going to be so much rotation in that Man City team. So yeah, Guardiola could be a good option, but do you know what I mean? I'm cautious about him. Don't know if anyone Man City fans in the chat have any thoughts on whether he's going to play all those games, but I'm torn, to be honest. I'm really torn. I don't know what you guys think, but I'd just be hesitant around Man City assets with all that going on. Yeah, it's also early in the season, Mike, so the swings kind of impact more because everyone's got less points. Yeah, only Pep knows. I don't think he knows his team for Wednesday yet, to be completely honest with you. To be honest, of the Foden assists is whatever in it. 4-pointer, yeah, I'll take a 4-pointer. Missing a 4-pointer. Ake's back too, is he? Well, there you go. So that's crazy levels of rotation about to happen there. And if there was ever a time for Man City to rotate, it's now in like the festive period, right? So yeah, it's crazy fixture volume until the 26th. Sorry, crazy fixture volume until the 9th, and then it's an international break, and then it's weekend, midweek, weekend, midweek, weekend, midweek. Oh my god, that fixture run. So even in the start of December, it's 2 games a week. So they've got 2 games a week now, basically, until Christmas. And then Christmas is crazy, as we know as well. Yeah. But then Champions League 2, mate, they've got, Sparta Prague probably can get away with being rested in. But then they've got Sporting away in November. I don't know, man. I don't know. Just my thoughts there. I mean, if you disagree, that's totally fine. But it's just my thoughts on that whole Man City situation and rotation. Feel free to shoot any questions in the chat. I didn't really have anything specifically prepared for this stream. I was just going to go live so you just chat with you guys, basically. I don't think so, Mike. I just think they don't have Kevin De Bruyne and Rodri, like their 2 best midfielders, and I think they're really suffering from a lack of those 2 players, basically. That's my opinion on the situation. Good little stutter then. Well, that is a cracking emoji that you've used in the chat there, mate. I rate that. See, thing is with Palmer, he had... I watched the whole of the game. This is why I was a bit late joining the stream, because I wanted to wait until the game was finished, until I went live. I watched the whole game, and I saw Cole Palmer have 2 genuine goal-scoring opportunities. Maybe even 3. 3 decent chances in that game. He didn't have the best game, but he still had chances. And he's on penalties and free kicks too. So I think he's great. And also, yes, Guardiola's banging in the goals, but Man City are continually conceding, right? Have they kept a clean sheet yet? Just look at Stones for the results. 1 clean sheet away at Chelsea to start the season. That's all they've done. Yeah, Trent out, Guardiola in. That could be something I'd do. I don't know, man. I'm also of the mind to go really cheap in defence. Let's see what FPL review's saying for my team. Let's have a quick look. See what FPL review's saying for my team. Yeah, I think people are going to be put off that triple captaincy, and then he'll bang in 4 goals, won't he? Yeah, exactly, Mike. It's incredible. That's why I've stuck to my guns, mate. He didn't do anything against Chelsea, though. Absolute 0 in terms of goal involvement, mind. But it wasn't his game. Just seeing what FPL review's saying. Saying I should start Gabriel over Trent. Interesting. Let's see what it's saying for transfers. I've got 5 frees. 5 free transfers. Not sure I like those suggestions. Don't know, I'm not liking what I'm seeing so far, I've got to say. Rodgers, Aina and Salah for Bowen, Pedro, Porro and Foden. I'm not excited about that. Let's just let it load up. Yeah, I'm quite happy with 5, to be honest. The only reason I have 5 is because I played an early wild card as well. But yeah, 5 free transfers, eh? What do you do with yourself? I'm a man of insane patience, discipline, and patience. I'm basically a monk. I'm an FPL monk. That's what I am. Come on, FPL review. I imagine people are absolutely hammering it at the moment, so it's a little bit slow. Go back to this screen a second, then check FPL review in a sec. I would recommend Fernandez and Eze, to be honest with you, mate. Here we go. So it's saying Rodgers to Foden, Salah to Bowen, Gabriel to Dunk, Lewis to Guardiola. Oh, no way. Rodgers to Foden, Salah to Bowen, Trent to Guardiola, Lewis to Porro. Lewis to Guardiola, Salah to Foden, Trent to Dunk. I'm not sure. Kanate is actually stringing. The reason I didn't have Kanate is because he always seems to get injured, but he's actually strung a decent amount of games together now without getting injured, to be fair. Oh, I agree on Keane. I'm so patient. Yeah, well, I'll still have Eze in 10 years' time. The game will launch next season. We'll all have the same team as we did last year, and it'll be it. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that story. But yeah, I'll have him in 2034. 5 free transfers. Keep your questions coming in, guys. Yeah, unlucky Mike on. Well, and also, I hope it isn't too serious for Welbeck, because it didn't look good, did it? Betsy, shoot. What's your question, man? Yeah. Salah v Calafiori and no Saliba. Like, I'm quite content with owning Salah. I'm not concerned at all. I guess the question is, hang on, if I could have a quick play around my team. Just seeing if I can downgrade Gabriel and Trent. Could I get Palmer in for Eze? See what other moves it's given me. They're also big on Foden, aren't they? I don't know about Foden. Just looking at those Man City fixtures, can I bring myself to buy Phil Foden, you know? He'll probably start in the Champions League, won't he? And then will he start against Southampton? And then what will he do against, you know, I just don't know. I just don't know about Foden. I don't think it's certain enough yet to be bringing him in. Yeah, Spursy guy, I don't know, mate, to be honest. I think we just need to see what happens in the Champions League. If he plays 90 v Sparta Prague, I reckon there's a slim chance he starts against Southampton. But if he starts and then gets limited minutes, I think he has a chance of starting. But I'm quite glad I told people to avoid him, because I know he got an assist, but you still want the headache. I don't think you want the headache. I think he's more stressed than he's worth, to be completely honest with you. I'm just going to see. So here's my team. Zoom in properly so it looks right. There we go. Actually, no, I might have to go a bit smaller. Hopefully you guys can still see that. So if I get rid of Gabriel and Trent, bring in 8 Nori, and then for argument's sake, Mazwari, and then I can get Palmer in for Eze. I don't know, man. What do you think of that? Gabriel and Trent to these two, and then Eze to Palmer. And then I've got Salah, Palmer, and Haaland in the same team. 0.1 short of it, but I'd get rid of Greaves as well. So I'd move Greaves to a 4 million of some description, because he's injured, and I might as well. Oh, hang on. Bear with. So he could just become Van der Berg, couldn't he? Oh no, I'm already tripled up on Brentford. I can't do that. Or O'Shea, whatever. So yeah, I could do that. Agree on Dallo, mate. Agree. which is why I've gone Maserati, because I just can't afford Dallo. You think Son's better than Palmer, do you? Yeah, could well be. So hang on, because he's a lot cheaper, isn't he? He's nearly $1 million cheaper. So if I just restore them all, if I get Son in, where's Son? Where's my guy Son? There he is. 3.1 million I need to find. So I'd still need to, downgrade. Don't know. Still all feels a little bit just knee-jerky in luxury transfers though, because I don't know. Call me crazy, but I think my team's decent for next week as well. Call me crazy, but I genuinely think it's decent. Maybe 5 free transfers and I might just sell Greaves. I just go on that. I don't think that's horrendous, to be honest, that team. And if I really wanted to, I could start. I can't bring in a Brentford player, unfortunately, because I've got Flecken and this geezer and Mbumo, so I've tripled up on Brentford already. Yeah, Garnacho, definitely, mate. I recommended him in the video I made last night. Yeah. So that's the team. Like, I think it's decent. Then I've just got the question of, do I start Aina in my midfield? But, yeah. I'll go back to the live FPL. Did anyone really hurt me this week then? So yeah, Jackson a little bit. But I got away with it, really. These were all my rank-hurting players, and it was just Guardiola that killed me. A 56, that means I got a 56k red arrow because of Guardiola. Oh my god. I feel quite fortunate that Luis Diaz didn't start today as well. I feel like if Diaz started today, he'd have done really well. I think Reece James didn't look all that comfortable up against Cody Gakpo. Alf PL, good to see you, mate. I don't know, are you still on holiday? I remember seeing your tweets of being in Greece. Just having a little chinwag about how terrible this game week's been for most people. But I hope your week's been good on holiday at least. Agree, Mike. Yep. Milenkovic is the one for Forest. I've been bigging him up. When I brought Aina in, he was 4.4 million and I only had 4.4 to replace him. I basically did Lewis Hall back in the day to Aina, and that was my transfer. Well, there you go. That makes up for I don't know, you might have had a good game week. I hope you've had a good time with the family, mate. What's Harmony saying? Considering Raya, Trent, Semenyo to Pickford, yeah, that's good. I like that. I really think there's an argument for going cheap in defence at the moment. I don't have them to hand. Maybe if I just go on 11ify, I have to bear with, because I showed this morning. These are the 11ify projections, which are, I would say, relatively highly regarded amongst the FPL community. And I'll just have a look at the clean sheet projections, because hopefully it's moved over to match day 9 now. No, still got 8, but it doesn't matter. Looking at the clean sheet projections, I don't know, it just doesn't look. Zoom in a bit so you can read it. Can you read that? Yeah, you should be able to. The clean sheet projections, man, they are, doesn't look like there's going to be all that many clean sheets coming up for me, especially for the big teams. Man City are 53% against Southampton, but we all know what Man City have been like defensively. Then Arsenal in match day 12. Who have they got in 12? Forest, okay. So against Forest, they're 54. But for the next sort of 3 game weeks, the clean sheet odds are low across the board. So I think there's a real case for going cheap at the back right now and just not going for the premium defenders. No, just my opinion. And then that would allow you to obviously bolster your midfield a bit. Yeah, Edison is... honestly, all of the goals that Man City tend to concede, I didn't actually see the goal that Wolves scored, but they're either low XG, like Wonder goals, or Edison being flappy, basically. I wanted to add another word after flappy, but I thought probably best not to. But yeah, he can be a flappy one, can Edison. Nori or Dallo. It depends, mate. It honestly, it depends what you can do with Nori in your team and the money. Because obviously it's cheaper, right? Who would you bench out of these two? Who have they got? Delap or Semenyo? Bournemouth have got Villa away. Oh, I would probably do Semenyo, mate, because Delap's on penalties, and I think that adds quite a bit for me. Ah, lucky Steve. What can you do, mate? What can you do? Who was on your bench? I've no idea, Kelton. The FPL assists, what do you call them? Is it the dubious assist panel is the correct terminology, I think, they've been at it this weekend, haven't they? They've been at it. You're not the first person, or you won't be the last person to ask that question. God, I just hope Eze does something tomorrow. I feel like I deserve it for my patience, you know. It's not even to the point where I'm actually going to outscore people who have sold him, you know. I'll just be making up the points, but I feel like I deserve an Eze return. I've been like sitting here manifesting it for the whole weekend. No doubt it'll be a 0-0. Yeah, what can you do about Haaland, eh? I hope Forest don't keep a clean sheet because I've got Aina on my bench and none of my defenders have got a clean sheet. So that'd kill me, that would. Nottingham Forest keeping a clean sheet when I own Eze after all the patience I've given him and have benched Aina. Yeah, but I also think, Niels, there's a time and place to be aggressive and a time and place to be patient. I think the two genuine aggressive moves you can make right now is go small at the back and not have Haaland. Those are the two sort of aggressive play styles you could adopt if you were feeling risky. That's what I reckon. Yeah, Chris Wood, big up to Chris Wood and Eze. Eze, look at that ownership. 2.3%. 7.1% around me, I think that is. Let's have a look. What's around me? Yeah, around you. Yeah, Eze, 7.1% ownership near me. Yeah, I always say this about FPL goalkeepers, and it's not like I don't know, it's not like a scientific explanation or anything. But for me, the best goalkeepers in FPL are ones that get saves bonus every game and keep like an average amount of clean sheets. So goalkeepers like Edison and David Raya will usually be poor for total saves because their team concede so few shots. Not necessarily the case with Arsenal, I guess. So for me, the best goalkeepers in FPL are ones that keep like an average amount of clean sheets, which I would say is like 10 to 12 a season. But they make consistent saves, so they get saves bonus nearly every game. And I think there are two goalkeepers in FPL right now that tick that box. I think Jordan Pickford definitely. And I also think Onana of Man United is ticking that box. I think those are the two best goalkeepers in FPL right now. So maybe that's why. Maybe that's a move I can make and just do Flecken. But then Flecken's got Ipswich, so it's really hard to justify getting rid of Flecken ahead of Ipswich. Yeah, Martinez is good as well, mate. Yeah. But I just don't think Villa are keeping enough clean sheets for me. Yeah, number one overall when he has 30 points. That says it all, doesn't it? That says it all. Let's have a quick look. So yeah, number one overall, 30 points. He's probably not number one overall now, is he? I mean, yeah. You've captained Foden. Well, I guess, actually, it's better than most of us with our captains. 31 points for number two overall. This guy, 54 for him. Who did he captain? Haaland captain B had Son in there. Oh, and Mike. Oh my god, the jam of having Michael Keane in defence. Absolute jam of it. Blimey, Cortex. Who has actually got who has had a decent game week? Let me know your scores in the chat. If you think you've had a good game week. I say a good game week is above 40 points right now, to be honest. Cheers, Bert. So I'm on 35. I'm hoping to finish the game week on more than 40. I should at least have 39 at the end of it with a bit of luck. D-Doc, 46. Good job, man. 41 for Cortex. 67. Wow. Man, Michael Keane's finished incredible, isn't it? Calvert-Lewin could definitely learn a thing or two from that. Just checking Twitter to see if there's any news a second. We'll just have a quick scroll through fantasy football Twitter, shall we? To make you all feel better that everyone's had a bad week. Andy, 39, all done. FPL Harry's on 19 points from 10 players. Chris Wood to save his game week. So yeah, honestly, all the big dogs are having a bad week. Don't worry about it if it's not too good for you. And likewise, make the most of it if it's good. Someone there on 51 points with Saliba. And that's insane. 51 points. Started Harry Winks. Has Saliba. Still got 51 points. I'm excited to see how my players did today. Logging into the FPL app. 50-point week for Daniel, huge. 24 points for Flapjack. Obviously Salah doing bits. 24 points for Raptor. So he's all out. That's all his players gone. Wow. Yeah. So not a good week for everyone. Not a good week for a lot of players. So don't stress too much. Don't stress too much. Is 39 points enough for a green arrow? You have to find out. If you go on livefpl.net, there's the link. It should work. You might have to copy that into your browser. But I need 3 more points for green arrow, apparently. Yeah, but going into the game week, like captaining Haaland against Wolves, who leading into this game week, and they still have conceded the most goals of any team in the league. The worst defence in the league in captaining Haaland. It makes sense, so I wouldn't worry that you captained Haaland. Like I can't say that's a bad decision. It's impossible to say that's a bad decision. Impossible. Or someone wants to know about Oscar. Should you have a look? Very cautious about showing my Twitter feed on stream just because of the trash that usually is on it. So I'll just search and see if he's tweeted his team. Oh no, not yet. He's just given his please do yourself a favour and get rid of Eze. He hasn't played yet, mate. If Eze plays tomorrow and scores a hat-trick, are you going to tell me to get rid of him still? No one did pass to Haaland, no. Let's have a look at his website. By the way, if I'm using his website on stream, the least I can do is link it. There it is in the chat. Diogo Jota, 55 points. No way. No way has Connor Bradley scored 66 points. 68 points. Oh, Captain Son. What a crazy man. Fair enough. Connor Bradley for you. Fabio Borges, who is probably known as the best FPL manager of all time. 36 points for the best FPL manager of all time. He's also got Wood and Eze. I love that. Big ups, Fabio. That fills me with confidence when the best FPL player of all time has Eze in his team. It's a good feeling. The worst active team, -4 points. He's on 7. He's on 7 now. Christ, that is awful. What a terrible week. Christ. And it's not like, you cannot tell me that's a bad team, really. Apart from João Pedro. Like, if he started Rodgers instead of Ant, like, it's not a bad team, is it? It's 2 red cards. 2 red cards. That's horrendous. I like how it's called twat as well, the worst active team. He's still 62k. It's incredible. Anything else in here that's useful? Oh, what a good website this is, by the way. What a great website. He's not tweeting his team yet, I'm afraid, bud. I'll just move Twitter over here so I can check my feed off screen. Yeah, great app. Check him out, man. It's good stuff. Good stuff from Oscar. That's crazy, isn't it? Crazy. That's single-digit points for a guy in the top 100k. So you think you got it bad. He's in turmoil at the moment, and he'll be fine as well. Like everyone will be after a bad FPL game week. It'll all be fine. Madison benching. He did get benched, didn't he? He did get benched. No, he did get benched. Did he? Hang on. Have I just completely missed that? Am I an idiot? He did. Wow. I think it must be a tactical thing. He just can't fit in all his talent, basically, mate. Can't believe I didn't even notice that. There you go. So, Paul, we were discussing that. I've actually lost it. So you tell me, right? So he's obviously important to the Man City team, is Guardiola. No doubt about it. Unquestionably good, right? And important to the team. But, excuse me. So he started against Wolves. Sorry, I'm tired. I've been quite busy with YouTube today. I think it'd be tactical, mate. So then they got Sparta Prague in the Champions League midweek. Possibly gets a rest there. Then they got Southampton. And then they got Tottenham. And then they got Bournemouth. And then they got Sporting. And then they got Brighton. All so 2 games a week for the next 3 weeks. Now, do you think Guardiola plays all of those games? I don't know. I really don't know. And you got to think, if there was a game to rest him for, it's the Southampton game. And you'd want to play him against Tottenham. And you'd want to play him against Bournemouth. And you'd want to play him against Sporting, So if there was a rest coming for Guardiola, I reckon it's next week. I think you could get away with resting him next week. I think Ake's back fit as well, someone was saying. So yeah, just my opinion. But I just think there's so many minutes dangers in that Man City team at the moment. Even Lewis is one, right? I know I've got him, but I think I'm happy to take that on the chin at his price. Yeah. Do you reckon treble? I don't know. Spurs is a big game. Yeah, don't know. Just my opinion. It's the same, obviously. Same applies to Foden as well. Same logic there. Saka to Son next week. We will be there. Fair enough, man. Might do Gabriel to 8 Nori a week later. Yeah, I'm considering it. I don't think he put up much. He hasn't really done much goal threat. He didn't do much against Bournemouth, but in every other game he's been a threat. Kids will play against Spurs. Fair enough. If you believe that, then he probably does play. Hey, I'm just, this is the kind of stuff you got to talk about, isn't it, as an FPL manager with a Man City player in your team. So I respect your guys' opinions, of course. Of course. That was very posh. I respect your opinions. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I don't mind Mikolenko. The thing is with him is he's quite injury prone. So he's a good player when he does play, but I just think he's too injury prone for me. And yeah. Can you do a spin on your swivelly chair? I'll sign out with a spin on my chair. I'll sign out with a spin. Yeah, it's as good as week as any to hop on 8 Nori, mate. It's as good a week as any. Wolves fixtures get good now. Ultimately, they've been pretty pants so far, but the fixtures do get a lot better. That is a good run there. Look at that. What a run. Wissa's back on the menu, definitely, Mike. Wissa and Raul Jimenez would be the two guys I would consider replacing Welbeck with, just looking at his price. Yeah, Welbeck's 5.9, so you can't get Wood in, who's now 6.3. What a legend. But you can get, Raul Jimenez or Wissa would be my two replacements. That is absolutely insane, Alfie, that you captained Solanke and got away with that. Fair enough. He did better than Haaland did. I don't think you made a mistake, Anthony Gordon. I think you'll be fine, mate. None of the teams are keeping clean sheets. Were there, apart from Bournemouth on Brighton, Everton kept one as well. There were some clean sheets, to be fair, weren't there? I don't know. I just don't think. Well, no one predicted Bournemouth to keep a clean sheet. I didn't necessarily predict Everton to. Brighton, I definitely didn't. So the clean sheets this week came from just unpredictable means, in my opinion. I wouldn't stress. Thank you, Alf. Yeah, hit the like button if you haven't already, and be sure to subscribe. Fancy putting the armband on Mbumo. I tell you what, Ipswich at home, you could do a lot worse. He had a really quiet game against Man United, though. Really quiet game. Harmony, no, it's a real shame. I'm swimming at the Nationals next weekend. So I can't go. Disappointed. I might give up my ticket to someone. Just let someone have it for free if they want to go. But yeah, I can't go, I'm afraid, which would be a bit of a shame. Although we'll probably get smashed by Leeds. But I do miss the opportunity to sing Leeds Are Falling Apart again, which is a shame. Oh, for Bruggen 10-pointer on your bench, that is painful. Would be here to remind if Eze will have a stinker. Thank you, Notion Vids. I appreciate that. Yeah, the thing is, visual walkthrough, I can 100% see the logic of it. But I say this a lot, and people are probably bored of me saying it. But the concept of those kinds of luxury transfers. So you're taking one player out who, DCL is frustrating. Of course, I completely accept that. But he's nailed on for Everton. He plays 90 minutes every game. He's a good target from set pieces, and he's their penalty taker. So you're taking out a player with those attributes for another one. I'm hesitant on those kind of luxury transfers. They always seem to backfire on me when I do it. This season so far, the two luxury transfers I've made, I've sold Guardiola and I've sold Anthony Gordon. So the Anthony Gordon one has kind of paid off, but selling Guardiola has not paid off. So yeah, that's my experience of two luxury transfers so far this season. So I've got a 50% hit rate, basically. And even then, Gordon, he scored against Man City the week I took him out, and then I wildcarded the week after anyway. So, you could argue that none of them paid off because they both Guardiola and Gordon scored in that game after I sold them. Not a champ, but I do swim, mate. Yeah, I'm definitely not a champ though. Driss has got 75 points. My God. Salah captain, that is huge. Do you have Haaland in your team, Driss? Legendary total of 21 points. Huge. I will get Anthony Gordon back very soon. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, 14 points. Unlucky, man. Chalk it up to the game. Go again. Trent for Konate. Well, there's logic there because he's cheaper and it probably allows you to do other things elsewhere. And Trent, I've got to say, he was pretty quiet against Chelsea. But I think owners have been pretty unlucky that he's put up 3 XGI so far. And expected assists are usually underinflated. So a player will traditionally get more assists than their expected assist data. And Trent has undercooked it so far. He's got less assists than he's actually put up, which is quite rare. You don't really see many players that do that. So I think as a Trent owner, I've been a bit unlucky that his returns have been just 1 so far from an attacking perspective. Unlucky, Will, mate. It's one of them, isn't it? I just know as soon as I sell Trent, he scores as well. Like Arsenal, he could just get a free kick and score, couldn't he? I'm going Haaland to Wissa and Adam to Palmer. I'm guessing that's Adama to Palmer. Wissa and Palmer will outscore. Oh, yeah. I don't mind that. Although I'd just be scared of selling Haaland ahead of Southampton. Adam with no Haaland. Huge. 475 overall. Yeah, can you imagine if Haaland blanks against Southampton? Can you imagine? I'm really excited for my transfer plans. Excuse me. Really excited for my transfer plans video to come out on Monday. Oh, sorry. I might do it Monday night, might do it Tuesday morning. Because I've got so much to talk about and absolutely no idea what I'm going to do with my team. And it all kind of hinges on how Eze and Wood do tomorrow. Huge from Lewis. We love that. Unfortunately, you've not done so well in my team this week, Lewis. I also used to live with a guy called Lewis. No Haaland all year. Scary most weeks, I can imagine. I've got the same front 3 as you. Sold Jackson for Solanke. Yeah, unlucky. Yeah, it just isn't worth the money. It's painful. Oh. Yeah, what has happened to Haaland? Is he like carrying a niggle or something? Because he's not himself. I think no KDB and Rodri is hurting him, but he's not looking himself at the moment, let's be honest. Someone needs to ask him what's wrong. How many points am I at? 35, with Eze and Wood to go, which I think's a fairly respectable place to be. I'll take it. Just going to see. To be honest, the 2 players that would have decided whether you've had a good week or not are Salah and Son, aren't they? Like if you didn't have Salah or Son, you've had a bad game week. But if you did, you've had a good one. That's basically the difference. True, Cortex. That's true. I won't get into the science of that because I think YouTube doesn't like the topic. But there is something to that, I think, Cortex. I'm sure you'll probably done the research yourself. He is a new father, isn't he? Yeah, that is true. That's the big factor, isn't it? How like, what kind of nick is that baby going to be in when it's an adult, man? That is going to be a genetic freak of a child, isn't it? Huge from Esteban. Yeah, to be fair, he has gone through a lot, hasn't he? That is a really fair point. Just had a baby and lost a really close friend. That is a roller coaster, isn't it? You just think that is quite a heavy couple of months, to be fair. Well done, Harmony. I'm going to go for 5 more minutes if that's all right, and then I'm going to make some dinner at 7:30 because I'm hungry. Some teams have been able to work him out, haven't they? Mike, my pleasure, mate. I hope you enjoyed it. Thoughts on this 11? Flecken, Lewis, Gabriel, Mikalenko, Rogers, Johnson, Bumo, Salah, Palmer. Yeah, great 11. Eating fish cakes. That is very British. Can you buy fish cakes in any other country that isn't Britain? I think that might be the single most British food imaginable. I don't think you can go anywhere else in the world and get fish cakes. Sam, mate, I've got a Lidl butter chicken curry that I'm about to absolutely demolish, which I'm very much looking forward to. The Lidl curry pots are incredible, by the way, because you get in the lid you get a little spice mix that you can cook your meat and your veg in, and then you add the sauce later. It's beautiful. Yeah, well, that is British. Well, like a fish. I think fish cake and chips is even more British. You can get fish anywhere, but fish cake in particular, man. I don't think you can get that anywhere outside of Britain. Maybe we could bring the Americans on side with fish cake. It's probably still more nutritious than most of their diets, right? Crown, I still think it's going to be Haaland, mate. Easy answer for me, it's Haaland or Palmer. One of the two. Oh, actually, there's 3, isn't there? I'd say Haaland, Salah or Palmer, and I can't decide between the 3, really. I don't rate Foden, mate. I do rate him as a player, but I just don't think his minutes are guaranteed enough, to be honest. Would you do Saka? Oh, Eddie, you find I see your comments, but I'm always like streaming or doing something when you leave them, so I'm always too busy. But this one I can respond to. Would you do Saka and Bowen to Palmer and Garnacho? I can do that now with 2 free transfers. I would hang on, but I rate it. Gordon. Well, we've actually got the real Anthony Gordon in the chat, so you can ask him. And to be fair, yeah, that's the thing about Bowen. FPL Review is bullish on Bowen. It really likes Bowen. I think the Foden explanation is quite easy, really. Got back late from the Euros, was ill for a period of time. So he hasn't had a pre-season, and he's just getting back into the team. So, yeah, I think that's the explanation, mate, to be completely honest with you. Son always has a banger season, mate. He's a 15 to 20 goal player every year, pretty much, isn't he? So, yeah, of course he will. I think you can pretty much expect 15 to 20 goals from him. And I would be interested to see how much of a partnership he can form with Solanke. Right, we're approaching the half-hour, so I think I'm going to sign off now, if that's all right. If you enjoyed the stream, please leave me a like rating. I'm going to go and have some dinner, and then if I'm not absolutely brown bread tired, that's not even the right explanation. Not even the right saying, is it? If I'm not absolutely knackered when I'm having my dinner, I'll make a video. So yeah. My pleasure, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I mean, come on. Things are going to get better, right? Even if it's been a crap week this week, things are only going to get better. So I'll leave it on that note. Oh, and someone asked for that. So there's your little treat.